Sometimes you feel like you're swimming against the tides.
All right, good morning to you, Grenada, Carrier, Cupidi, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. It's Good Morning Grenada for today, Wednesday, the 16th day of April.
Or being betrayed.
It's indeed a joy, a pleasure. Most importantly, I acknowledge the fact that it's a privilege that I'm here this morning. Not a right.
Whatever you
Could have been gone. I not necessarily had to be on the wake-up list this morning, but he favored me
life is.
and you because you're hearing me. So good morning. Wake up, shake up, live up. It's a good day to have a good day.
Your worries,
26 minutes on to 7 o'clock. I just want to remind you that whatever you're going through,
them might.
somebody else is going through something worse.
Some days are dark.
Yeah.
Gray.
You've got to believe that. Good morning, Yulin. Good morning, Mildred. How is Shem doing this morning? Zamora, good morning to you and Judy. Arnold Grant, good morning. Catherine Phillip, hope all is well.
And the tears are in your eyes. Hold the faith, my friend. You're not alone. And if you're feeling heartbroken, seem like no one hears your cry.
Can you identify with this song? Well, I've got news for you.
You're not alone.
So stop wallowing in self-pity.
Has been
You know, like I'm nobody's child, nobody loves me. Get up, shake up, and live.
down this road.
Tough times make us stronger.
You'll miss a
Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sylvina Charles, good morning. Destined to win, overcomer.
call.
Jillian McIntyre is with us.
You stumble and fall. You must rise up.
Falling is inevitable.
Start again.
Getting up is your choice.
Oh,
So all those of us who are feeling that we are oppressed and we feel depressed and we, oh my goodness, suffering from anxiety disorders and all these other things, you're not alone.
you're not alone.
Joan Brathwaite Batson, good morning, Mr. Joseph Friends. Have a wonderful, blessed day, everyone. Want to say good morning to my brother from another mother, Andre Jerome. Good morning to you, your bigger brother, your mom. My cousin, good morning. How are you doing?
Body has been done somehow, sometime.
Hoping everything is all right.
Yeah.
Nice.
On this journey,
Good morning, Dorian. How are you this morning? I almost called you in your real name live, you know. The master control guy just came and do some adjustments. Mary E. Banks, good morning to you. Yolanda Swan. Alstead John, good morning to you and the family. Auntie Alma, good morning to the wonderful folks inside of Pearls. Lower and Upper Pearls. Cheryl, good morning. My Joseph cousin lower down. Good morning, Simon Jack. Good morning, good morning. Those of you out there in the diaspora, good morning. We've got a contingent out of Barbados. Also St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Nice. Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana. Turks and Caicos. Belize. Man. Good morning to Jennifer Dupoy in Cape Verde Islands at the moment. Good morning, Winterpeg. Doca, Candy, Josiah, good morning. Stedman, Mignam, everybody, good morning. Zavi and Zuri, good morning to you all. Yeah, you all are not alone, you know what I'm saying? No. I want to make Yulin dance now. You're not alone, so get up and dance.
Holy Spirit, take
Huh?
Holy Spirit, fill my soul.
As we head into the word of the day, that word today is transient. 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 And it means lasting for a short time. Lasting for a short time. Here's how we can use that word in a sentence. The transient rainstorm passed quickly, leaving clear skies. That's not how it was on the 1st of July. No. Barry was ferocious. Having said that, I want to reach out and say good morning to the folks on the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Good morning, good morning. Cicely Blackman, good morning. Rico Andrew, how you doing, Papi? Johnny and the guys in Wester Hall, good morning, good morning, good morning. Joanna, how you doing? Haven't seen you in ages, girl. What's up? Marvin, Dominic, and family up at Stone Road. Yeah, good morning, good morning. Of course, Pastor Laurie, Dominic, and the First Family, good morning. Sister Nadika.
My God is
nice.
My God is
always worthy to be praised. Good morning to John T's son. I really need to get that name right. Yeah, the Gans. He rushes over every morning to look at the program. Good morning to your grandmom, your aunt, everybody. Nice. Nice. Nadisha, it's your turn. Good morning to the folks inside of Coffee and surrounding areas. Miss G, good morning. Papa Jerry, what's up, Papi? Burning the fire this year again as usual. Crow Shoe, good morning. The Joneses, morning. Nice. McQueen's Service Station, good morning. Brave Boy Service Center, good morning also in Corinth. Hope everybody's doing fine as always. Well, the motivational tip of the day is up next. And it says, be your own biggest cheerleader. Encourage and support yourself the way you would a best friend. Believe in yourself and your abilities. Well, Papi, the sooner you recognize that that is important, the better for you. You understand? Because if you are going to wait on people to do that for you, in the day in which we live, all you got to do is start making a little progress. You understand what I'm saying?
Holy Spirit, take my soul.
So you've got to learn to motivate yourself. Stay focused. Be motivated. Cheer yourself on.
Holy Spirit.
Every night before you go to bed, you pray to God, if you believe in that, but you look back, you reflect, and you say, give yourself a pat on the shoulder. Yeah, you did good today, but tomorrow you're going to do it better. You know what I'm saying? You've got to, you've got to be there for you. Because if you don't expect someone else to be there for you if you're not being there for yourself, right? Good morning, Teacher Mary, the critical eye. Good morning. How do you do? You all right? Let's see what's buzzing this morning. What's buzzing? All right, the infamous trio from St. Andrew, they will be sentenced today on multiple charges following a high-profile escape and murder investigation. New PAHO program to boost digital literacy for healthcare workers. While at that, good morning to Nurse Pierre and the folks at the ICU department at the General Hospital. As a matter of fact, good morning to all the medical practitioners, all the nurses, those in MAT, those in male surgical, female surgical. Good morning. All right, in the region, the Haitian government approves funding for what they call the war budget. Internationally, the trade war to cut global oil demand, so says the International Energy Agency. And in sports, former West Indies head coach Andre Cooley to assist the Bermuda team. Well, we'll have the details to these and so much more after coming up in the news segment, which comes up shortly.
As I journey to this distant land,
Of course, I want to read my quotes from my good friend, Wednesday Blessing. For surely, O Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor as with a child. And that's coming from Proverbs 5:11. Good morning. May God make your faith strong, stable, and fix on Him based on the truth of the gospel. God has you and your family in Christ Jesus' mighty name. Have a great day. And he said, God sent not His Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through Him might be saved. Yeah, amen to that. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Good morning, early out there in the U.S. Time to start coming home. Don't wait, let Trump send all your back. Come home. All right, nice. Good morning.
Hallelujah.
Loving yourself is not selfish, of course not. If you can, the Bible says, love thy neighbor as thyself. So you have to love yourself first, all right? Good morning, Claudette Wells. How are you doing? All the way in the U.S. Is the U.S. or Canada? Good morning. Folks, the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather. Let me see if there's anything that I need to... Okay, all right, nice. Okay, we're good. The AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather comes up right after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinair Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
Boy, yo, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up. I'm coming. Karim, what you doing? Fly my kite. Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy. Why not? The wind good. Because mommy say kite threads conduct electricity.
Yeah, kite. It's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, it can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked.
Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
This is the GBN Morning News for today, Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. Now, coming up in the news, the infamous trio from St. Andrew to be sentenced today on multiple charges following high-profile escape and murder investigation. Also, new PAHO program to boost the digital literacy for healthcare workers. In the region, Haitian government approves funding for war budget. Internationally, trade war to cut global oil demand, says the IEA. And in sports, former West Indies head coach Andre Cooley to assist the Bermuda team. We've got the details to these and more after these messages.
Need to install or repair your plumbing? We've got you covered. Whether you're setting up a new washing machine, replacing a leaking faucet, or fixing that pesky dripping pipe, the Plumbing Supply Store is your go-to place in Grenada. We offer a wide range of plumbing products to make both new installations and maintenance a breeze. Our shelves are stocked with top quality products, including pressure and waste fittings. And if you've been struggling with blocked drains, have you heard of Melt? This powerful drain unblocker liquid is a game changer, designed to prevent and clear blockages, making it ideal for hairdressers dealing with clogged wash sinks. We also carry a wide selection of repair kits and replacement parts to bring new life to old plumbing fixtures. Visit us today on the Woodlands Main Road or call 444-1377 for expert advice, top-notch products, and a warm welcome. At the Supply Store, we do everything plumbing.
Good morning. With the details, I am Gordon Joseph. Three St. Andrew men who made international headlines in February 2024 after escaping police custody and later being linked to the disappearance of an American couple are scheduled to be sentenced today on charges of rape, robbery with violence, and escaping lawful custody in the St. George's No. 1 High Court. GBN understands that Paradise St. Andrew residents Ron Mitchell, Trevor Robertson, and Abita Stanislaus all pleaded guilty to the charges last month. The trio had been held at the South St. George Police Station in February last year when they escaped and fled to neighboring St. Vincent, where they were recaptured several days later, prompting international concerns. Authorities believe the men made their way to St. Vincent aboard a yacht belonging to missing American couple Ralph Hendry and Kathy Brandell, whose vessel had been docked in the St. George area. The men have since been slapped with additional charges, including capital murder in connection with the couple's disappearance. GBN understands that the capital murder charge has since been downgraded to non-capital murder, which carries a maximum penalty of 25 years. Trevor Robertson, who was unemployed at the time of his arrest, and Ron Mitchell, a sailor, they are being represented by attorney Jerry Edwin. Abita Stanislaus, a farmer, is being represented by attorney Ali Gill. The murder case remains before the court and is expected to be heard during the next sitting of the criminal assizes. Sentencing on the lesser charges is set for today before Justice Guilford at the St. George's No. 1 High Court. Now, while the men face maximum penalties of 30 years imprisonment for rape, 15 years for robbery with violence, and 5 years for escaping lawful custody, the legal team anticipates a one-third reduction in sentencing for the clients, according to the sentencing guidelines, among other mitigating factors left to be heard at today's sentence hearing. The Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, will now be using generative artificial intelligence, or AI, through its regional secondary education system. CXC and the government of Anguilla signed a memorandum of understanding to utilize this technology going forward, which also marks the official start of the May-June examination period. The CXC is undergoing a digital transformation to reposition the regional examination body for greater regional impact. To do so, they will be introducing generative artificial intelligence as one of the new measures in allowing candidates to undertake examinations, as well as the introduction of the new Caribbean Targeted Education Certification, that's CTEC. We have more in this report.
Effective January 2026, all exams administered in the January sitting will be offered electronically, either as e-assessment or hybrid e-assessment. This was revealed by Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the Caribbean Examinations Council, Dr. Wayne Wesley. This decision was taken following heightened concerns about security over breaches in CXC exams in 2022 and 2023.
In situations where candidates are unable to write the examinations electronically, They will be accommodated in the May-June sessions, where both paper-based and e-assessment will be administered. Strategic repositioning of CXC marks the beginning of our transformation effort, and I want to say at this time that this is the beginning of the end of the Caribbean Examinations Council as you know it, as we transform for greater regional impact.
Dr. Wesley.
And finally, in the local scene, the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, will launch a digital literacy program today for health sector personnel, a virtual initiative aimed at strengthening the digital skills of healthcare workers across the Americas, including the Caribbean. It said the new initiative will be supporting efforts to improve access to and quality of care through the use of emerging technologies. PAHO said this initiative responds to the call made by the Ministers of Health of the Americas during PAHO's 59th Directing Council in 2021, urging the UN agency to promote health systems that are accessible, connected, and interoperable, ensuring no one is left behind in the digital era. It said digitalization is transforming the way health information is managed and how care is delivered. But it acknowledged that gaps remain in the region regarding access to, use of, and understanding of digital health tools such as electronic health records, telemedicine platforms, mobile apps for patient monitoring, and epidemiological alert systems. Now that concludes the first segment of the news. The local segments stay with us. The regional and international developments are straight ahead. In the region, the Haitian Transitional Presidential Council, the TPC, says it has approved US $275,000 towards dealing with the security crisis facing the French CARICOM country. In a statement, the government said that the war budget will help the police and the military to fight the armed groups that threaten national stability. It also said that nearly 20% of the funding will go towards fortifying the border with the Dominican Republic. According to the TPC statement, funding will also be provided for social programs as well as education, health, and humanitarian assistance. Looking further afield, U.S. President Donald Trump has called for Harvard University to lose a valuable tax break hours after his administration announced it is freezing more than $2 billion in federal funds for the elite institution. The White House has demanded that the oldest university in the U.S. make changes to hiring, admissions, and teaching practices, which it says will help fight anti-Semitism on campus. Since returning to office, Trump has pushed to reshape top universities by threatening to withhold federal funds that are mostly designated for research. Harvard became the first major U.S. university to reject his administration's demands on Monday, accusing the White House of trying to control its community. And finally, the International Energy Agency, the IEA, said on Tuesday that global oil demand will be lower than previously forecast this year as rising trade tensions weigh on the economic outlook. While U.S. imports of oil, gas, and refined products have been exempted from Donald Trump's tariffs, his other levies have raised fears of inflation and recession, pushing crude prices to four-year lows. The Paris-based agency said in a monthly report that after a period of relative calm, global oil markets were roiled by a barrage of trade tariff announcements in early April. It lowered its forecast for growth in oil demand by 300,000 barrels per day, down from just over 1 million barrels per day in its March report to now 730,000 per day. Trump imposed global tariffs of 10% this month, but paused higher levies on scores of countries for 90 days. That's the regional and international news. Stay with us. The sporting highlights are straight ahead. Good morning, sporting fans. Andre Cooley, the former head coach of West Indies cricket test team cricket, will be helping Bermuda at the North American Cup over the next fortnight. Now, Bermuda will play Canada, United States, Bahamas, and host nation Cayman Islands in the inaugural tournament, which starts on Saturday, and they will have the assistance of one of the world's premier coaches. Cooley's presence as a high-performance consultant alongside head coach Carl Waldron comes as a result of an agreement reached between the Bermuda Cricket Board and Cricket West Indies at the recent ICC America's annual regional conference in Costa Rica. Appointed head coach of West Indies Test team in 2023, Cooley was an assistant coach during West Indies' triumphs during the ICC T20 World Cup in 2014 and 2016 and is looking forward to assisting the Bermuda side. Still in cricket, India will tour Bangladesh for 6 white ball matches in August. They will play 3 ODIs and 3 T20 internationals, marking India's first bilateral T20 series in Bangladesh. It is also the first white ball only tour of Bangladesh since 2014. This tour will be the final preparation for the 2025 T20 Asia Cup, for which India are the host country. India are scheduled to arrive in Dhaka on August 13th. They will play the first 2 ODIs on August 17th and 20th before heading to Chattogram to play the 3rd ODI and first T20 on August 23rd and 26th. They will return to Dhaka to play the last 2 T20 ODIs on August 29th and 31st. Still in cricket, the final sports item this morning. The ICC is considering a change to the existing 2-ball rule in its ODI playing conditions in a bid to restore some balance between bat and ball in the format. A recommendation was made at the ICC meetings in Harare this week to use only 1 ball from the 35th over of an innings. The recommendation was made by the ICC Men's Cricket Committee, headed by Sourav Ganguly, to board chief executives. Now, each innings will start with 2 new balls, as is the case now. But in the new recommendation, the fielding side will be allowed to select which ball they wish to carry on with after the 34th over, when both balls are 17 overs old. The ball that is not chosen will then be kept as the spare ball in case it is needed. That's the sports at this time. We'll have more sports for you during our luncheon edition. Stay with us. The weather forecast is straight ahead. And folks, for the latest weather forecast, we join forecaster Cassia Johnson at the forecast desk at the Morris Bishop International Airport. Good morning, Cassia.
Good morning to you and good morning to the listeners. Here is the weather for today, Wednesday, 16th April 2025. Currently at the airport, conditions are partly cloudy. Winds are from the east-southeast at 13 miles per hour. Pressure 13.5 millibars, which is above normal and rising. Present temperature 26.4 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 84%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 29.9 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperature last night 25.5 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, there was 0.5 millimeters of rainfall at the airports, which brings the total for the month to 52.8 millimeters. Looking at the public forecast valid for today and tonight, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy at first and breezy, with the occasional light isolated showers becoming fair by afternoon. Today's maximum temperature 30.0 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. Tides are currently falling and will be low at 11 a.m., high at 5:45 p.m. Sunset today, 5:54, sunrise tomorrow, 6:19. Again, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy at first and breezy, with the occasional light, isolated showers becoming fair by afternoon. From the Met Office, I'm Cassia Johnson.
Thank you very much, Cassie. Have yourself a wonderful day.
Thank you, Sim.
Folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick & Thompson Company Limited.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Quartz, we've got you. Need to upgrade your home? Get new arrivals in dining. Plus, buy more and save more on bedroom sets and get an additional 10% on credit purchases of any bedroom set. Want quality products that provide value at the best prices backed by full warranty? We've got you. Plus, shop today and pay later with Quartz Ready Finance. Whatever you need, we've got you. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
4 minutes gone past 7 o'clock to end the news, a recap of the headlines. The infamous trio from St. Andrew to be sentenced today on multiple charges following high-profile escape and murder investigation. A new PAHO program to boost the digital literacy for healthcare workers. In the region, Haitian government approves funding for a war budget. Internationally, the trade war to cut global oil demand, says the International Energy Agency. And in sports, former West Indies head coach Andre Cooley to assist the Bermuda team. That has been the morning edition of news for today, Wednesday, 16th day of April 2025. On behalf of the entire news department, I'm Gordon Joseph, thanking you for listening and viewing, wishing you a productive day and extending the invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
Boy, yo, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up.
I'm coming. Karim, what you doing?
Fly my kite.
Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy.
Why not? The wind good.
Because mommy say kite threads conduct electricity.
Yeah, kite. He's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, it can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked.
Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Grenlick, energizing our Grenada.
Life insurance. You've heard about it before, seen the commercials, but have you ever really thought about how life insurance can benefit you and your family? Let's look at 5 ways life insurance can benefit and protect you and your family through life's expected and unexpected. 1. It provides finances for your child's education. 2. It can help you in providing collateral for loans. 3. It provides living benefits. 4. It provides a source of income upon retirement. And 5. It provides finances for final expenses such as funeral, cremation costs, and other related expenses. Contact Demerara Mutual today and speak to an agent to select a policy that best suits your existing needs.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates, and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
Agritech Limited Grenada is your one-stop shop for all your farming needs. We provide seeds and seedlings, pesticides, fertilizers, irrigation and water management systems, veterinary products, and a wide range of agricultural products and implements. Our staff is knowledgeable and ready to serve you. Call us on 435-9677 or 440-4460 or visit us in Happy Hill, St. George. We are open Monday to Saturday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. Agritech Limited Grenada. Come grow with us.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
Welcome to On the Spot Hardware, your hardware haven. We're your go-to destination for quality wholesale and retail hardware supplies. From cement to lumber, steel to plumbing, we've got it all. Our dedicated team is here to guide you every step of the way. At On the Spot Hardware, we believe in making your hardware shopping experience easy, reliable, and satisfying. Can't make it to our Woodland store? Visit our Guelph location in St. John's. We're expanding to bring our hardware haven closer to you. On the Spot Hardware, where quality meets affordability. Your hardware haven awaits. Visit us today.
Good morning and welcome to the conversation for today. You know, it's Wednesday, and on Wednesday we've got a Riser Money Wise. And this morning I am joined by Miss, I can't remember the name of
Hilary Lawrence.
Hilary Lawrence from the Business Support Center. Okay, good to have you with us this morning. It's always a wonderful feeling to have a beautiful young lady to start the day. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great, Taylor said. Great.
Well, and she knows my name. You know? She knows my name. There's a gospel song. He knows my name.
Yes.
All right. So, of course, last week I had Mr. Herschel Whiteman. He is the head of the business loan department at Ariza, and we had a wonderful conversation last week. We were looking at business plan and the importance and significance and so forth of it. But this morning, firstly, I want you to explain what is the role of the Business Support Center. And where are you located? What do you do and stuff like that?
So the Business Support Center, as the name suggests, we support businesses. So we support businesses whether you're one man doing a hustle or you're a corporation with more than 50, 100 employees. And how would we support the businesses? By training, right? We have our workshops. We have in-house classes or online classes, as well as we offer accounting support. And of course, accounting is a big area in business. It doesn't make sense in business if you don't know what you're doing in terms of finance. So if you don't have somebody doing your books, we would set it up for you, we will train you, and we would also give you the support monthly if that's what you need.
Really?
Yes.
And where is this very important entity located?
Right. So we are right there in St. George's, right opposite the Bruce Street Mall. When you leave the tunnel, there's a big sign there, big blue and white sign that says the Business Support Center.
That's right by the postal.
Yes, right by the
Corporation
postal
sub-office.
Yes, that office right there.
Okay, well, folks, this is, I mean, as I said last week, and I think I reiterated it Monday with Miss Walters. Small business in Grenada is becoming big business.
Yes.
We're seeing a lot of small businesses being erected here, there, and everywhere. Sometimes people start doing things and don't even realize it's a business venture they're into.
Definitely.
Somebody start, for example, I can draw one right away. You're going up to Grenville, just before that to swing up to Mama Can. You see some people on the side, they're selling their water, the coconut water in bottles, and all sort of things that being sold. I'm sure that initially they did not see that as a viable business, but it is evolving.
Right.
So people get into business ventures ever so often. So we really, really need that sort of support, because 90% of the times people just come up with an idea, they had a dream and they go about, but not knowing that there are business rules and principles that if they apply them properly, the business can become very successful.
Definitely. I totally agree with that in a sense. Yes. A lot of people start businesses and they don't realize, as you say, I guess the size that the business could really take on. But
so I said good words.
Very good words.
Nice. Word in place. Okay, now getting started in business, all right? What are the key steps someone should take when they want to start a business?
Right. So obviously before you start anything, just like a home, you have to have a plan. So you have to have a plan for the business. What do you want that business to look like? Yeah. You also have to register. I want to emphasize registration of your business. Yeah. You just go to the Kaipo, that's right there in Mount Welldale, and you tell them you want a business name. You come up with a business name. You get that business registered. Once you register that business, you also have to make sure you fulfill in the tax obligation. Because we know during COVID and so a lot of people lost out because their business was not actually registered with the Inland Revenue. So we want to encourage people, when you get your business name, when you start, get a tax number, because there are benefits in having your little tax number, and if they have grants and so the government, if your name is in the system, then you get that advantage. But if you're not registered, then you would probably lose out. So these are some key things. So you have to have your plan, you have to have your registration done with your name and so on, and then go down to the Inland Revenue and get your tax number.
Okay, so we're going to use some people call it a big word, but in essence it just means a businessman, entrepreneurship.
Right.
All right. Why do you think entrepreneurship is important for the economic development of individuals and the country as a whole?
Oh, well, definitely. Entrepreneurship is important, because if we look around, how many persons do you think the places like Grenada Lake or the government could really take in, right? Mm-hmm. So the entrepreneurship piece is such a large piece in order to create jobs, for persons probably who don't have the skill and who don't have the finance, and just the innovative piece in people, that's important as well. So you want to make sure that, as an entrepreneurship, you're creative and that kind of thing. And entrepreneurship helps with stimulating the economy, keeping the money within our economy. So people don't have to leave the country to go and get jobs. But as an entrepreneur, you're creating jobs and you're also keeping the economy going.
And I'm happy that you put it that way, because, again, people take a lot of things for granted. People think that, people tend to think that businesses are usually the ones that have the big buildings, as you use Grenlec, for example, and Arisa Credit Union and the financial institutions and so forth. And they do not pay attention to a typical example. The guys who do lawn mowing.
Right, yes.
You know how critically important that is?
Yeah, definitely.
People look at it as something, just
simple. Yes.
Simple. But the folks, I'm gonna specify, the folks who live in Lansapin, they don't have the time to do that.
Definitely.
So what happens if the lawn
Yeah.
So it's so important. Now, what are some of the in your sphere of work, right? What are some of the mistakes, the critical mistakes, simple mistakes that evolve, that eventually could throw a business off? What are some of the most common mistakes that you've seen?
Right. So one of the most common mistakes we see is when businesses start, again, if they don't have a plan. So people just going ahead and doing things, and as they come, they go. Yes, it might start like that, but it's good to have a plan, so you have something to follow. The other mistake we've seen is that when the business starts to do well, people mix their finance. So the finance, the money for the business, they generally take it and use it on themselves. So there's nothing to put back in. I call that eating the seed coin, because they have nothing to plan back. Wow. So you definitely need to make sure when you start, get a separate bank account for the business and have something for yourself.
Well, this morning we're representing Arisa, so it's not bank account. Get a separate account.
Get a separate account.
Yes. Preferably in Arisa.
In Arisa,
yes,
right? So
of course.
You need to have that thing separated so that you can see truly how the business is doing.
I'm happy that you made a reference to that, right? What sort of intervention you think would be needed for people to really understand that? I think it has a lot to do with education,
definitely,
business education, because
yes,
I have observed it, I have felt it, I have been part of it, that
yes,
you start a business, you're living a particular way, and as soon as you start making $2 more in the business, your lifestyle changes.
Yes.
Okay? So you might have been driving a Corolla, you start up a restaurant or something, and you start seeing more monies coming in,
right,
and you upgrade to a Ford pickup.
Yeah.
But that's not because of your personal injection, but because of the business.
Yes.
So what can we do to really solidify that knowledge in people's head, that the business, I always make reference to that. POB was one of my favorite subjects in school.
Wonderful.
And I had one of the best teachers, Mr. Charles. Okay? And he always emphasized the fact that the business has a separate life to you.
Definitely.
So how do we teach our people that?
Well, yes, but we do have training as well. We do train persons in financial intelligence. And that is one of the more important things. And persons have to understand, as you said, the business is separate from the individual. You have to first understand that. Yeah? So we always encourage people to have the separate accounts so that you could pay yourself as needed. Yeah? And you keep all the business transaction in that business account. And don't mistakenly take the business money as yours and splurge it, because you wouldn't have any to plow back into the business to help it grow and to its full potential.
An easier way to put that is the registration process.
Yes.
Right? The registration of your business gives your business that birth certificate.
Yes.
So it is an individual.
It is an individual.
Yeah, so you treat it like that.
Definitely.
Okay. Now, one of the key components of any business, okay, along with the plan and making sure that you have right staffing and so forth, financing.
Yes.
Financing is of critical importance to the business.
Yeah.
In terms of accessing financing, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs trying to secure financing for investment?
Okay. Just like what I said before, having separate accounts. You cannot mingle, cannot mix the accounts. And one of the other suggestions would be for persons to make sure that they put in the money into the account. It doesn't make sense that you have the account, and when you get that cash, you take it and you spend it again. Obviously, there's no recording of that money because we know what happens with cash.
Yeah.
When we get cash, you have some money in your pocket, you go down the road, your partner wants a drink, you buy it. So there's no accountability. But when it's on the account and you have to remove it, there's some accountability.
You see how you put this thing?
Yes.
I take real offense to that, yeah? Real offense. Guys,
well, that's good.
She beating up on us. You see, when we go down the road and my partners want a drink, you buy. She wouldn't say that when they go down the road and they see a new hair, they
all of that in
a
it.
new weave.
Yes.
Just interjected a little humor in it. But it's important that people understand that, right? So the accessing of finance, one of the key things that I know from my financial experience is that it ties back to what we said earlier, records.
Right, yes.
Because institutions will tell you if you make $10 for the day and you need to use it tomorrow, deposit it to your account,
yes,
so that the institution can see a pattern of what your intake is.
Yes, that's why we encourage that. Yeah,
okay.
Make sure that you have it recorded somewhere. Don't just take it and use it. Another part to finance would be if you're a small business and you know start. I'm sure you know people with a little money. So if you don't have all the cash yourself, all the capital, you could ask somebody either to partner with you, and you do a little document to say this person is coming in as a silent partner, whatever the structure. So you don't have to always necessarily, if you don't have all that it takes to go to the financial institution. And I know Horizon, so they do have different size of financing, but another way you can do that to start would definitely be to pull together some monies from granny, from auntie, who's just, the money's just sitting there and doing nothing with it. So that's another
that
way.
in itself is the genesis of entities like Ariza, the cooperative.
Exactly.
You know, so they can pool their resources together and have the shared benefits of the business.
Yeah.
So that is another way. Now, once a business is off the ground, right, what are the next steps to ensure it grows, and not just grow, but grow sustainably?
Right. So once a business is off the ground and you have a plan, my suggestion would be to put some systems in place. Because we are, by nature, very ill-disciplined people. So we have to have system. How do you track your money? How do you collect your money? How do you pay bills? How you handle customers and customers' complaints? So you need a whole system to develop that system based on your business type. Yeah? So building systems, I would suggest, is the next big thing for your business.
How important is staffing to your business?
Definitely staffing is important, but you have, again, with your plan, you would know who are the persons that you want to employ and when you want to employ
the number of persons
exactly, and the skill set they have to have. Yes.
All right. Okay. I am really enjoying this conversation. Training and mentorship, that is a very, very important thing, because I like to use what we see happening nowadays, you know, pop-up businesses.
Oh, yes.
You know?
A lot of that, yeah.
And maybe without planning, maybe just, you know, it is often said that necessity is the creator of inventions.
Definitely.
Right? So maybe out of necessity, a family realized, but we have 2 children to go to school and we can't make it. You know what? Let's go and cut some green bananas in the back of the land and go by the road and start.
Try to sell it. Yeah.
And maybe because of the locale that they're in, they realize that vehicle stopping to buy. So that starts a business even without much planning and preparation. Yeah. So as they realize that the business is growing, in terms of mentorship and training,
yes, we do offer training and some mentorship as well. But again, we live in a society where we know a lot of people. Yeah, we've seen a lot of examples. Why not have a conversation with somebody in the area who have a successful business? You make an appointment, you sit with somebody, just to have a conversation. This is the idea, this is what I'm thinking about. How can you help me? Do you think this would, that kind of conversation. So we don't have to, and again, we in a world where the internet is there, yeah? There's a lot of examples online and so on that people could go and search instead of going on Facebook and minding people business or doing other things with it.
You're one of the elite people that still call it Facebook. I call it Facebook.
Yes.
Yes, Facebook, people business alone.
Yes. But if we use what we have around us, we can be better.
And which leads me to a very critical question next. The use of modern technology, for example, marketing and sales and so forth, the networking via e-commerce and all these things. And do you train people and recommend this sort of?
Yes, we do recommend those software, social media training. Again, your accounting pieces, because that's my strong point. Just
so you're
tracking.
An accountant?
Yeah, I'm an accountant. Yes. So tracking your stuff through, and there's so much easy apps that you know when you sell an item, just to keep that record. If you buy something, right now you just take a picture and the thing uploads it. So there's a lot of software. There's a lot of easy ways to handle your business, even though you don't have a big fancy office.
Okay.
So that's no longer our excuse. We have this little thing here that we chat about and cause a lot of problems sometimes. We use that for what we need to use it for, to make money. Stop using that to destroy, but use it to build up yourself and your society.
I like how you put that. In terms of business could be so daunting at times, all right? People might have a plan. There are some people that don't have a plan, they start something and boom, it takes off.
Right.
But there are some people who sit and they envision and they forecast and they start a business, and for thy kingdom come, it's not getting to the point where they want it to get.
Right.
All right? Inspiration and encouragement.
Right.
What can you do for people like that?
Again, maybe you need more education. Maybe you need to, as we said earlier, maybe have a mentor. Somebody could probably look and encourage you, or maybe something else is going on that you need to delve into. I would encourage people as well as to read. As a business owner, you need to read because things are changing. You need to know what's happening. Where's the next big thing? Yeah, you can't just sit there in isolation and think you're making money. No, because we see what's going on in the economy. We need to know what's happening. We need to talk to other business owners as well. Again, going online, finding mentors. There's a lot of guys out there that would encourage you and kind of help you, and you can try stuff out. So I want to encourage that.
Wow.
There's a book I want to recommend for entrepreneurs listening called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. That's an excellent.
What's the name of it?
The E-Myth.
M-Y-T-H.
Yes.
E-Myth. Myth.
Yes, Michael
Folks,
Gerber.
You heard it. E-Myth by Michael Gruber.
Yes.
You're an entrepreneur or you intend to become one.
Yes.
That's the entrepreneurship Bible.
That's the entrepreneurship Bible.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this. I mean, I'm happy that you're an accountant and you're into, business and things like that. I'm going to just open up the conversation for a brief moment because we've already exhausted the time, but that's okay. We won't be fired for that. Right. What do you think? What steps do you think we as a people generally, Grenada, can take to preserve and protect us?
Yeah.
Because we're just a little dot.
Right.
The bigger countries are now sneezing and coughing.
Right.
So we expect and we know as time progresses, we will catch the flu and maybe even more than the flu.
Yeah.
What can we do to protect ourselves locally and maybe diverse a little bit and go regionally? What can we as a people, as a region people, what can we do?
So I would start with education. Yeah. If we look at our school system right now, there's nothing refinance and education and entrepreneurship in school.
Except POB and accounts.
But even that is still by the book. Yeah. We have to have more practical things happening in school, whether it's hands-on training. I am also offering myself, for who's listening, to do training in finance, financial intelligence. People need that. even before we come out of school, because we see what's happening. When people come out of school, the first thing is to get a car and move out of mommy apartment or the house and so on. But there's no financial training. Where do we learn that? We have to make a number of mistakes before.
Trial and error. Yeah, and it's fine to make mistakes, but why not get us prepared so we make less of a mistake so we get where we need to get to a little faster. So I would want to encourage that we start something like that in schools. And not just in secondary, but in primary school. Kids should know what it means to have a loan. Yeah? Because, I mean, that's the reality of life. Yeah.
What is debt?
And it's happening sooner than later, you know.
That's it.
In my days growing up, big people I used to talk about going and get loan. Nowadays, as soon as you reach 18, you can get a loan.
Access to that, right? So we need the education. The education piece has to be first. Yeah? And in everything we're doing. In terms of expanding to the region, I know they have some organization that's doing, again, training to help businesses move from just operating locally to operating online. Yeah? So again, we need to be more aware. As I said, business people need to seek out information, ask more questions, and don't sit, as I say, in isolation and think that you know it or there's nothing happening. But ask questions. Yeah?
Do you think there's scope? There is scope. I mean, there is scope and hope for small businesses in Grenada?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. But I'd be very surprised that the amount of money some businesses become small, the type of money they're making.
And you see, sometimes people thinking that in order to be called a successful business, you might have to be, your records have to show that, this year you made $1 million. Maybe not necessarily, People have to understand, based on the input you make into it, the financial input and the returns, you might realize that you're making 100% profit.
Exactly.
If your input is $10,
right,
and when you sell your products, you make $30.
And of course, that's
200% profit,
exactly.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So. All right. Well, I do hope, once again, I want you to say, not just say, but I want you to tell people where they can identify your organization, how they can contact the organization, because I'm certain people will be calling and coming.
Wonderful. So again, we are opposite the Bruce Street Mall. That's right next to the tunnel, right in St. George's. Our number is 439-2724. That's 439-2724. And you call and we set up an appointment. We do free, you hear the word free, business diagnostics. So if you think your business needs some kind of support, whether it's in finance, whether it's in system or structure, we would help you get that going.
The name of it again?
The Business Support Center.
This is a godsend. Thank you, Ariza, for introducing us to the Business Support Center. And folks, we've got the resources. Use them. Go on out. Just sit and have a conversation. You might be realized that just having a conversation with the folks at the Business Support Center, it transforms your business from where it is and explode into something much bigger.
Yeah. And we aim to as well to transform minds, not just business. Because if your mind is not different, then the result wouldn't be different.
Except you're a mad person that wants to do the same thing and get different results.
Definitely.
Miss
Lawrence.
Miss Lawrence, thank you very much for joining us. Somebody wants to get into the conversation. They've been calling. Let's just hear what this. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm just listening to her name, Center and the lady on the thing, and I'm interested in trying to make an appointment to see how I can grow my business and whatever.
Well, you see, that's what I was saying. Stay right there and take the information. Give him the information again.
Okay, 439-2724.
You got that, caller?
Once I get me write that because I'm on my phone.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So tell me now.
439-2724.
439-2724.
Yes. Okay. Right. So call and make an appointment. All right.
Yeah. Love you.
Wow, you got
wonderful.
You see, I mean,
thank you.
I keep saying this, right? I keep saying this that These are the kind of programs that, the media fraternity need to push.
Yes.
Of course, the media is to educate and entertain, but more time we find...
entertainment takes over.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I know for a fact that we need to teach money issues in the schools.
Yes, that's my point, yeah.
Ms. Lawrence, thanks again.
Thank you.
Because this conversation will go up till 12. Folks, that's it.
Thank you.
That's it for the Money Wise program this morning. Compliments Ariza. Good morning to the folks at Ariza, the rank and file at Ariza. Thank you very much. We take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Today's edition of Money Wise was made possible by Ariza Credit Union.
Are you looking to further your education but need financial support? Ariza Credit Union is here to help. With our educational loan, you can pursue your dreams. Whether you're working and studying, taking professional online courses, or engaging in full-time education, we've got you covered. Our flexible repayment options and competitive interest rates provide the right support for you on this journey. Visit Ariza Credit Union. Apply today, take control today, and own your own education.
How am I supposed to finish cooking like this? I wonder if climate change is behind all these water shortages. Time to think about the future. It's really time to invest in a proper water storage tank, What water tanks you guys have available?
We have 450 gallons for a family of 3, 800 gallons for a family of 5, and 1,000 gallons for a family of 7. Purchasing any of these tanks will ensure that you have enough water stored.
Don't be like me and wait until you're out of water. Be smart. Be prepared. Invest in a proper water storage tank today.
Grenada is indeed beautiful and worth exploring. We firmly believe that you should be allowed to do so. Why not explore Grenada with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours? Whether you decide to explore Grenada with your family, spouse, or large group of friends, we are ready to welcome you. Our tours are guaranteed to leave you with wonderful memories of Grenada if you are visiting and excitement if you live here. Book a tour with us now by visiting our website www.jamessvcs.com. Call 1473-442-3769 or email info@jamessvcs.com. James Services Corp Off-Road Tours.
I am Dennis James Williams, owner and director of James Services Corp. Looking forward to welcoming you to the beautiful island of Union to explore with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours. See you soon.
Explore our beautiful island of Grenada from an angle that is unique and off-road, but equally fun. We are 100% family-friendly tours.
Paying is faster and easier with Glow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Get ready, Grenada. The Maggie King of the Grill is back and bigger than ever. On Saturday, June 7th, Monroe's playing field transforms into the ultimate battleground for grill masters. Think you got what it takes? Then fire up those grills and show your skills. Registration closes Friday, April the 11th. So don't miss your chance to compete for that sizzling prize and bragging rights. It's food, fun, and flavor, all powered by Maggie. To register, call 407-8458. Maggie King of the Grill, where flavor rules. See you there.
All right, folks, welcome back to the conversation. It's 17 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We've got 17 minutes in which to talk. What is it on your mind this morning? Would you like to continue to talk on small businesses? Any advice, any suggestions, any concerns that you'd like to raise? What are some of the hindrances you face if you've tried to start a business and you just want to expose it? Maybe someone can reach out to you and so forth. Maybe we can have that conversation. I'd like to have that. What are your thoughts on the importance and significance of small businesses in Grenada today, looking at what is happening globally? All right, so maybe we could make that into a conversation. Let's hear from you. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
How are you going, sir?
I am doing fine. How about you?
Trying to be comfortable, man.
Okay, well, you sound that way.
I listened to your conversation this morning.
Okay.
But I thought it was a very good conversation, and I too might want to visit that office sometime. But I do have some problem, Innocent.
Tell me.
And the problem is this. I want you to listen carefully because I'm seeing that business is damaging people who want to get into business. Let me draw a reference to what I'm saying. The story was told to me of an individual who had a few acres of land, not in Grenada though, but he had a tractor. The business entity get to him and tell him, well, you could buy a new tractor, that's an old one. And he said, no, I'm accustomed with my thing. I'm not looking to make big profit. I'm making a special turnover. And here it is what I'm doing. No, they advise him get into a loan, buy a bigger tractor and thing. The man get into a loan. And after 1 year, because he could not service the loan as he's supposed to service the loan, you know what happened? The man lost his land. They come and the bank had to sell his land and all them kind of things because he couldn't handle it. I want to draw another reference. I am one of those who took a training with GIDC one year, a group of us, in making tea. We were introduced to cooperative means of starting up the business, so we had to form groups and things like that. And we were told that there were funding for cooperatives and things like that, so we formed ourselves into cooperative. A few weeks after, we were called into a meeting, and I could never forget that. And when we went into the meeting, what we saw was credit union and bank people telling us how we could get a loan to get into the business.
Okay.
I am saying it appears to me that a fella getting into selling some nuts on the side of the street, that's just to me. It's not necessarily ready to register that business and tell the man that, well, that's a business on you, or to register it and treat it like a business. Because if everybody does not have the amount of clientele. A woman have too much things in her garden and she's just trying to sell something and you're trying to incorporate it into a business. And to me, it causes later on a lot of mental stress on the people. I would assume that before people get into a business, one must recognize that if there is a turnover every year of a certain amount, then you could call it a business to go and register to get into. But if somebody just go in and want to sell some nuts or something on the side of the road and you want them registered to Inland Revenue to start to call them always that they don't pay the tax, they don't even know if they're making anything in the business, I think it is one of the greatest cause of mental stress. And that is where the bank make their money. That's just how I see it. You understand what I mean?
Okay.
I am just assuming that there must be some rules and regulation, especially, number one, if in case the business does not making a certain amount of money projection per year, you don't come and register it as a business. We'll advise you how to handle that, but not every little thing that a person feel comfortable. That is the family thing. They get into it, they feel happy, they make some money. You could train them how to do it better, but to get into the business model and compete with other people, to me, that's one of the causes of mental stress for poor people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. That's one side of the coin. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr.
Hi, welcome to the program. How are you?
Thank you. Well, I coughed all night last night, so I didn't sleep. So what I'm telling you, I didn't dream about it.
Okay.
I had to get some Zebra pick, honey, and wheel up.
Okay.
To beat that cold. Yeah. So let me just share this with you. I learned that 10 years ago, around 10 years ago, that representatives from the OECS islands met with kids to discuss water conservation. Because St. Kitts Island, like Carriacou, does not have rivers, so it depends on rain. So the plan was that the OECS island should, going forward, implement a program for conservation. For everybody building any facility to utilize water should submit, when they submitted a plan to the PDA, in the plan should have something to harvest rainwater. That's what I heard. Subject to correction. Understand that it's and Nevis when and do it. I do it because there is, but I do not know what.
Caller, hold for 1 sec, right? I don't know if it is your location or what, but we're not hearing 80% of what you're saying. You're breaking up very badly.
Okay, sorry, probably I'll have to call.
Yeah, please do. All right, get that rectified and call us back. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph. Greetings.
Greetings.
I wish to deviate from your proposal there. Can I?
Please do.
Well, Mr. Joseph, only recently I made a comment or two upon that issue of that sentiment called apathy, where we just sit by and look at things and say nothing. But of course, I'm a kind of person I learned to rebel since I was younger. And I always like to speak up. When I observe that nobody wishes to speak on it on a particular matter, I choose to do so because it certainly raises my curiosity. When I returned to this country a couple of years ago and I found out that we were making efforts and so on to develop our hydrocarbon reserves and there was a law in place and all of that, one of the first things came to my mind was to find out where the quote-unquote seismic research data for our assumed reserves were. And I was chided for asking questions about things I did not know. Why did I say that, Mr. Joseph? I realize in recent times that on the news, we've been hearing that the government of Grenada has been able to rest their hands on the quote-unquote seismic research data of the country's hydrocarbon reserve, which I think is a very good thing. But it also asks the question, Mr. Joseph, begs the question, why is it the previous administration never said a word about it? Why? Is it that they did not know that it was supposed to be in the hands of the state, the owners of the reserves? See, Mr. Joseph, that document is a powerful thing and people can make money off of it. It's like a guarantee in a bank. Or you call it collateral.
Yep.
You understand? So, I would like to get and challenge the quote-unquote Integrity Commission once more. This bunch of pimps to launch an inquiry into the reasons why this document was in the hands of other people and not the people of Grenada. But I'm happy too that this new generation making efforts to get it and so on and put it in place to guarantee at least that what belongs to the people of Grenada is theirs. Mr. Joseph, Grenadians, I want you all to understand, we cannot continue to just sit down and let people do what they've been ripping this country off. Open your eyes to see what these demagogues are doing to you. They pose as politicians, but they're all crooks and conmen. They have personal interests. They're selling out what is yours in a smart way, and you do not know. And when you sit down there and do not ask questions, they go more. Question more, Grenadians. Question more. The time has come. They're not brighter than you. They're not brighter than any one of us. But they believe they know everything because they're highfalutin. Or they're nothing but charlatans. Hyper-academic, pseudo-intellectual charlatans. Incompetent, inept improvisionists. Question more. Have a nice day, will you, Mr. Joseph, sir, for what it's worth.
Have a good one, citizen. Have a good one. It's 8 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We take our final commercial break in the program, and we come back and do the wrap. Don't you go anywhere.
Take charge of your financial journey by switching to an Own Your Own loan at Arise Credit Union. Arise's Own Your Own loan is as unique as you are because we know one size fits all does not fit you. With Own Your Own loan, you get unmatched benefits including lower interest rates, flexible repayment options, discounted loan and legal fees, and savings from hardware suppliers. Tailor-made options that put you in control. Switch now and step into the life you were always meant to live with Arise's Own Your Own loan. Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future. Call us today at 440-1759 or visit our website at arisescu.com.
Hey GBN family, we've got a brand new home on Facebook and you need to be there. Follow us now on Facebook at Grenada Broadcasting Network -GBN. Stay updated with the latest news, sports, entertainment, and everything Grenada. Don't miss out. Like, follow, and share. Grenada Broadcasting Network. Stay informed, stay ahead. First with the news, fast with the updates.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinair Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
Like a freestyle, the life block flowing mile by mile. It's legacy, a beat that don't stop like Bob Marley say. One love on top, BCH water out of sight, but it's always wrong, don't lose the light. From factories and wells so deep, cut off mangroves and fish they weep. Green water for the garden, keep it green. Save the cash and the earth gets clean. We use the water with a mindful mind. It's out of sight but never far behind. In nature, the answer must always flow. Like water running pure, the cycle grows. It renews itself, same drop, same beat. It's all good, man, you got the heat. Water flow. No clean water, no pipes to grow. Protect our water, protect our future.
Time to go.
All right, welcome back to the conversation. It's 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Before we, while the call is coming in, I'd like to say good morning to Randy Vic Mitchell out there in the U.S. Good morning to you. Monica Meros Williams also. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
I know you didn't know it was me. I just listened to that last man that spoke there. That man that people seem not to like. But as for me, I always think of him as an intelligent man and a man that knows what he's saying. Whether it be language, whether it be whatever it is, when I say English language. And I always read this man. It's time, what I said even a few months to you, he who thinks that he knows does not know, he doesn't know. Many people in Grenada put out information that are incorrect. And sometimes I gave you hint as to some of them. It's time that people who are giving out information should be accurate so that all of us could learn. But people does not want to be criticized. Criticism has positive as well as negativeness in it. And I'm glad that this man usually come on there because he somewhat helping to educate me, and I would use the word more. In other words, education is not able to repeat something. You must be able to practice what you learned. And then I could say that you're educated. So if you're in agriculture, you should develop yourself to the extent that you make it easier for you to involve in the planting and the whatever it not, and the reaping. So you must grow.
Okay.
As what I do, like, when I say grow, as I usually ask a man, he said, grow the economy. I wanted to know if you have to plan the economy. I end up in that. I end with that.
Thank you very much, caller. Folks, it's 1 minute away from 8 o'clock. At 8, we join the BBC. We can accommodate another caller. Or maybe not. So, folks, those of you who participated this morning, before I go, I want to say good morning again to Reverend Samuel Caesar out there in East Flatbush, New York. Good morning to you and the folks at Crossroads Radio. And all those of you who participated, thank you so much for being a part of the program this morning. And if the good Lord spare our lives, we'll do it again tomorrow, same time, same place, same frequencies and channels. Have a good day, everybody. Remember, it's a good day to have a good day.